fancy intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey Star Trek Fleet Commanders, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about an issue that's been really pushing and prevalent in the game since the update, and it's tough right now. Okay, so if y'all are unaware, there's an issue with the game's most recent updating to Unity 2021. Now, I don't expect everybody to know what that is, and I will try to explain a bunch of tech mumbo jumbo in layman's terms. The shortest answer of what Unity is what the game is built off of. It's the game engine that runs Star Trek Fleet Command. And every couple of years, there's an update that comes through, and the purpose of this update is to provide more stability and better performance for the game as a whole. And I will say that having tested out the game a little bit on my phone, which is an older Samsung S21, as well as on PC, etc., I will say for the past week, for those of you that it is working with, it has been a slightly better performance. I'm not going to sit there and just like give them mass rounds of applause, but I will say that updating to Unity 2021 has had its perks and benefits, or at least it seems so, especially with more content for Star Trek Fleet Command rolling out in the near future. However, doing this update caused a lot of devices, both older and some that are even relatively newer in terms of yearly age, to stop working and not work at all or work incorrectly. So in this, like I said, we're going to try to explain what that is. Now, I'm going to first go by and provide what Scopely provided in the official Discord if y'all missed it. Now, Eco posted this. I do want to make sure I point out really quickly that nothing I say is a negative directed at him. I don't expect a community manager to know how a engine update is going to affect the player base. I do expect communication to be better, but I also understand that it's not his job to know how that works. So please take the response with grains of salt. But here is what they said a couple days after the update came out. We wanted to provide an update of the crashing issues causing some Android players are experiencing on loading. We're working with Unity to find a fix for the small subset of Android devices who cannot load the game due to crashes. In the meantime, although not ideal, these players can attempt to log in and play via the PC client. We are looking for a permanent solution to fix this. So basically, Scopely's answer, and there's not been an answer since then, was play on the computer. Now that is a legitimate response if a player has a computer. Not everybody has one of those in the 21st century, believe it or not. A lot of people have actually started to cycle away from them because literally the things that we carry around in our pocket every day are a computer. You don't really need to have that to check your email and to send Discord messages and to play video games, and you literally can do that on your phone. So that's not an option for everybody. And then there's also the debate of like, oh, we can use an emulator like BlueStacks. And my BlueStacks is working fine depending on how you set up your BlueStacks to work. This goes back to what the original issue is, and I want to try to explain it in a basic way here. So again, Unity is the game engine that this game is built off of. So as it updates, you then have requirement issues. You have hardware requirements for certain, aspects of this. And you have operating system requirements. Just like a computer, your phone has an operating system. And whether it's running on the latest version of Lollipop, 5.1 or whatever, you need to have the appropriate OS that works with the latest design of what the game is using. And beyond that, not only do you have to have the appropriate operating system, you also have to have the hardware that can handle certain functions of the application. And again, this isn't new, and that's actually one of the issues I have with the lack of communication from Scopely that this was coming, because a lot of people could have been warned, hey, your device might be affected and you might not be able to play the game. That didn't happen. And even though I do actually agree with the idea that we want to upgrade and update the game engine for better performance and to make things better, it's actually one of the things that we asked them to do to make the game more playable. You certainly need to warn your player base that potential issues could be happening. So players on maybe a device like a Samsung A13 might not work anymore, and then when it catches them off guard, they had no idea what's coming. Obviously, they're going to be upset. So here's the easiest way to explain this. When you're going through this process, I'm going to use something that many people can relate to, especially my American viewers. Let's talk cars. So operating systems, hardware, etc. It's like you wanted to get into a street race, right? And many of you are going to recognize a Mustang. Well, they're both Mustangs, but the one on the left is the EcoBoost engine, and the one on the right is the 5.0 GT, the V8. More horsepower, more torque, more Get excited, right? Better engine and better roar, and that's your hardware. So even though you both have maybe the same operating system, which would be the Mustang in this case, you're both not equally equipped for the race. In fact, here's an example. Sorry, Mustangs are cool. Here's an example of like the engines of the EcoBoost versus the V8. And again, you can see that one is significantly stronger, even though they're both still Mustangs. So you could have my phone, Samsung S21, have the exact same operating system that Unity requires. But what if you've not got the right hardware to run that? So let's say you're on an older Samsung device, you've got the right operating system, you updated your phone, but it can't handle the latest version of Unity for whatever reason. The developmental tools that get put in here, maybe your phone's not able to handle that. Your device, your tablet, whatever, can't handle the latest update. Now here's the thing, not only is it a communication issue, but it's also an issue when it comes to Scopely, where maybe they have something they could have done to prevent this being an issue moving forward. It could have been a testing issue. It also could just be something completely out of their hands. Because as you see when I put up some of these examples of the past, this is not a new issue. But at the same time, it's not a new issue. So like we know that updating our Unity engine can cause problems. It's actually been something that we've seen all over the place for the past couple of years. If you've done any type of tech world, you can literally Google these and be like, oh, people have run into this issue. So the biggest thing I have to say is, number one, I'm sorry that this was not properly communicated to all of y'all by the game itself. So baseline of it is the game updated its base code, which is good. We like that, but they did not communicate or warn that this could have ramifications for some players. And maybe they didn't do enough testing to know who this could possibly have ramifications for. So that leads to this type of response. And again, none of this is directed at Eco. I think Eco's answering what all he can answer. I don't expect him to be a literal game designer and know, hey, you upgrade that Unity, you're going to cause all these problems. It is the job of Scopely and the people doing that in whatever department that is to inform, hey, we might have some issues in this rollout. We need to let players know. So if you're watching this video and you're one of the ones affected, well, I'm just going to be honest with you. They're not going to roll back to the older version of Unity. That's not happening. So unless some type of other fix can be rolled out by Scopely, and I will say that I am out of my depth there because I am not a mobile game designer. I've never designed anything with Unity, nor have I ever worked with it, so I can't say whether there's something they can realistically do. But I do know that they're not going to roll back. So there's not something where they can just undo the update and get everybody back and going. So that said, the play on the PC option is an option, or getting a newer, more upgraded device that can actually handle the latest version of Unity. For those curious what some of those devices are, again, I'm on a Samsung S21, which is like a 3-year-old phone, but it has better hardware in it versus maybe a Samsung A series that is using more outdated architecture to have the phone be at a lower price point. I'm not trying to advocate for y'all to just go spend several $100s. I'm simply letting you know that you might need a newer tablet or a newer device to properly run this, because even if you were able to find a workaround for this update, when the next update comes, because as the name Unity 2021 implies, this isn't the latest year in the model run, there will be more coming in the future. Like anything, updates happen, and sometimes updates can take away the working ability of older devices. I believe the technical term is planned obsolescence. Not that I'm accusing Scopely of that, just speaking generally. Older things get outdated, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. But there is the why of how some of you are unable to log into the game now and the why it's happening. Basically, even if you got the right operating system, you're just in a Mustang that's in a 4-cylinder and you're not going to win the race, and you have to get a better engine. And I don't know really what I can do beyond that instead of letting y'all know. And again, I realize that this video isn't like giving you a path to getting into the game, but I do think it's important for y'all to understand what is happening and why and when it happens. And sometimes that means I have to post it a week after it happens, when we finally nail down all the issues and there aren't really any communiques from Scopely. I do hope that they figure something out, because at the end of the day, when we do have our frustrations, they're valid, but at the same time, we love this game and we love the community in it and we want to play it. So I hope everybody's able to get back in the game. And if there's anything that I can do to personally try to help out, whether it's passing up your tickets to Star Trek Fleet Command and Scopely, whether it's just trying to help you find a device that works, I'm more than happy to try and do anything to assist y'all that I can. And as always, I love and appreciate every single one of you. Live long and prosper. Stay safe with the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek Fleet Command video. And hopefully me, talking about this and rambling is okay. I really do appreciate you, and I really do feel for those who currently aren't able to get into the game. And I will say customer support's been really nice about handing out shields and everything to try to make it happen. Let me know if I can help you in the comment section down below. Deuces.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.